I am known as Gregor Mendel. I was born on July 22, 1822, on my family farm in Austria. By the time I finished my studies, I was suffering a lot of depression, which caused me to start studying and being a monk. I was given the name Gregor and I started taking care of some plants on my garden. By 1856, I started researching patterns of inheritance. I began using mice, honeybees, and plants, but ultimately I settled garden peas as my primary model system. I studied inheritance of 7 different features on peas. On this I included height, flower color, seed color, and seed shape. I first established 2 pea lines with different forms of a feature, such as tall and short height. I grew these lines for generations until they were pure breeding, which made them to produce offspring identical to their parent. After that, I bred them to each other and I observed how the traits were inherited. When checking the results of the bred peas, such as tall and short, I realized that tall was always the result and it always concealed the form. By this, I call this the dominant trait, which is the visible form, and the recessive trait, which is the hidden form. By using this second generation and allowing them to self-pollinate, I found out that the hidden form reappeared, only in a minority though. Specifically, there were always about 3 plants with the dominant trait and 1 plant with the recessive trait, making it a 3-to-1 ratio. As far as we got, this still doesn't explain how I got to the understanding of the 3-to-1 ratio. For that, I need to explain now my law of segregation. Law of segregation states that only one of the 2 gene copies present in an organism is distributed to each gamete, such as the egg or the sperm cell, which makes the allocation of the gene copies random. When an egg and a sperm join in fertilization, they form a new organism, which genotype consists of the alleles contained in the gametes. Now, thanks to my law of segregation, we can predict how a single feature is inherited. But if we want to predict the inheritance of 2 characteristics associated with 2 different genes, how can we do this? With this in mind, the law of independent assortment came out. My law of independent assortment states that the alleles of 2 or more different genes get sorted into gametes independently of one another. In other words, the allele a gamete receives for one gene does not influence the allele received for another gene. The allele specifying yellow seed color is dominant to the allele specifying the green seed color, and the allele specifying round shape is dominant to the allele specifying wrinkle shape, as shown by the capital and lowercase letters. This means that all our F1 generation plants are yellow and round. These plants are called dihybrids. As we go through the process, we can tell that there are 4 different categories of pea seeds: yellow and round, yellow and wrinkled, green and round, and green and wrinkled. These phenotypic categories appeared on a ratio of approximately 9:3:3:1. With all this said, I conclude my research about inheritance, and I hope this gets found in the future and helps others on their knowledge about inheritance. I say goodbye now. Thank you.